All right, how's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Good. I can't hear you. Hello. How's everyone doing? You guys can, we can't wave to them right now, but there's some people online here too. Everyone say hi to the people that are online.
Hello.
We'll get some people there too. Guys, my name is John Corrado. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Just real quick housekeeping for me. If you guys have a cell phone with you, if you could put that on stun or vibrate or some kind of mode where it's not going to, we're not going to get a phone call and interrupt the speakers that are here tonight. Real quick about me, Senior Director with Stream. I got started in this business about 3 years ago now, 3 years ago at the end of May. One of the greatest things that that's come across my way in a long period of time. We're really excited that you're here tonight. I'm excited to share some great information with you. I'm married. I've got 4 children. Been married 24 years. And for myself and for my wife, when we took a look at this opportunity, and my friend Mike Mentuck shared it with me going back a few years ago, we saw a way to be able to generate an income stream that would help us offset the cost of college tuition and expenses for our children. And I've got one now that's done with college, so going back 3 years when I first looked at this, freshman in college, and then I had a girl, my daughter Kelsey, that was a senior in high school. So I had another one going, and I got 2 more that are going to be going up through college at some point in time. So for myself, I saw something that was really a great vehicle to be able to help with that, and it's been just a blessing for us. So that's really enough about me. What I want to do is get our first speaker up here tonight. So I'm going to bring up a really good friend of mine as a result, really, of Stream. She owns a karate studio. She works for a life insurance company. She's a leader in our business, a regular here on a weekly basis in Phillipsburg. It gives me a great pleasure and a great honor, and there's no one better to get you started here tonight than Gaddy.
Thanks, John, for the introduction. They called me, they said, what do you want us to play? I said, happy, because I'm always happy. I'm happy to see all of you tonight. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about something that can change your life. But before I get into that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Deborah Gaddy, but if I call me Deb, and that's fine. I'm Deb Gaddy. I live in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I celebrated 22 years of marriage to John Gaddy on 29th. And I hail here from Virginia, Danville, Virginia. I'm happy to be with you guys tonight, and all of us can make a difference in our life if we just change our face. You know, if you smile sometime, it takes less muscles than it does to frown. So let me talk to you tonight about Stream. Have any of you heard about Stream? So John's gonna work that for me, thank you, because I'm terrible with these things. If you had an opportunity,
You're good to go, Deb.
To have freedom, if that's financial freedom, or time freedom, or if you could just dream again. As kids, we always dream. Once we become young adults or whatever, then we get in that mode of not dreaming. We're going to talk about what does freedom look like to you. Is it, I want to be out having fun with my friends. I want to share some time with my neighbors. I want to share some time with my children, my grandchildren. What does freedom look like to you? You had all the time in the world and all the money that it would take to have a good time or change your lifestyle. What would that look like to you? Happy, see? Okay. Stream Energy is a proven successful company. We've been in business for 10 years. We've revolutionized the energy industry. We've also enrolled millions of customers as well as paid out hundreds of millions of dollars in commission. Largest direct energy selling company in the world. If you notice here, there are 7 states, 6 states in the District of Columbia. We made $7 billion in a short period of time, which is 10 years. You can Google or do whatever you do online to see who else in the world has made that kind of money in 7 states or in 10 years. So this is what our company Stream has done. All of us are familiar with traditional advertising. There are huge companies, small companies that will hire a company to do their advertising for them. We know the Golden Arches is Mickey D's, McDonald's, whatever you want to call it. They hire a firm to do their advertising. The firm, in turn, get customers for them, hopefully. They make money because we go in and we buy. That money goes right back to that advertising company, and it goes right in that vicious cycle. We're different. We do relationship marketing. When we do relationship marketing, our company, who is Stream, get us to go out. We invite people to become customers. We make money, and then the money comes back to Stream. And guess where it goes then? To us. They pay us to do their advertising. What a better way to have advertising than relation advertising? What is relationship marketing? You're going to create loyal customers. And as an individual, if you are my friend and you become my customer, you're not just going to change because somebody else come along. You're going to remain my customer. And Robert Kiyosaki, who was the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, said, multi-level marketing or marketing is a very low risk financial investment or financial commitment, but you can acquire assets and great wealth. So we all know what that is. Put a little in, we can get a lot out if we work. Look at this. We started off with 6 states in the District of Columbia. Now this is all blue. So we're nationwide. Woo. That doesn't excite anybody. I'm happy about it. We're nationwide. And being nationwide, that means we can get customers, family, friends, neighbors, everybody from all over the world. And guess how we can do that? Mobile. Stream has launched mobile as of January. Launched to mobile, and there are more cell phones than there are people. Because most of you probably have 2 or 3. So one person, 2 or 3 cell phones, your business, your personal, whatever. We also have protective services. What are protective services? They are identity protection, tech support, and credit monitoring. With everything that has been going on in the world, everything that has been going on nationwide, we need to protect ourselves. And most people say, oh, I don't have that much. You better protect yourself, because once you start paying those attorneys and doing all the things to clean up your credit, you're going to wish you had. So Stream has protective service. What's more valuable than protecting yourself? It's a simple business plan. We enroll customers. We teach others to do the same. And I was at a meeting and I said to somebody, I said, have you ever did marketing? No, I don't want to do marketing. Okay. I paused. I said, where did you get those earrings? She said, Macy's. I said, guess what you just did? You just advertised for Macy's. I said, but the secret of your advertising is you're advertising and getting people to go to Macy's. Macy's gonna send you a check. When you advertise for Stream, you get a check. I get a check. We all get a check if we advertise for Stream. It's the big difference. So it's a simple business plan. If we work, we can do what? Make money. You get paid, I get paid, we all get paid. And I have the distinct honor to move this right along tonight, and I'm going to introduce a real good friend of mine. And this all started when I joined Stream. Knew nothing about her, but she had these fancy glasses, and y'all know I like glasses and shoes, and you name it, I like it. Anything that makes you look cute, that's what my girlfriend has. I'm going to introduce you all tonight to Eileen Johansen. Eileen is a top leader in this company, and ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, Eileen Johansen. Oh my God. Oh, we got the other happy song. Don't worry, be happy, right? That's why we're in the streets. We don't have to worry about it. There you go. All right. Thank you, Debbie. Did a great job. Here for Debbie. Yes, we made friends. There's a lot of people in this room that I, really consider nice friends, nice people. It enhanced my life because I got in this business.
4.5 years ago. I work for Penn State University at the county level. I work for the Cooperative Extension, and I teach a nutrition program to low-income families. I tell you what, I wish I could share this business with them, but I think I'd get fired. So I can't do that. 4.5 years ago, it was right before Christmas, and I got a call from a good friend, Pamela Atanasio. And I've been in another sort of network marketing deal with her, and really still am, but it's a product. It's a health product. And, that worked for me because I get free products, but I didn't get rich. And, the funny thing is right before I got into this business, I was really trying to develop that business. But it was really hard because I had a lot of knowledge in my head, and I realized I couldn't duplicate myself with that. And it would have been really hard to really, get a residual income going forward. So then I get a call from my girlfriend Pam right before Christmas, and she said, be at my house Tuesday. I've got something I think it's going to be huge. Okay, I didn't ask any questions. She didn't give me any information. Of course, I just went over her house. And 7 o'clock, 9 of us showed up, and I met Chad Hillians. He's a presidential director, and I consider him a good friend, and his girlfriend Inga, and his mom Andra. And he showed me a few slides at her kitchen table, and told me that if I did those few things, I could make $1,000 in 2 months. And I feel, well, somebody's doing it. Why not me? I thought it was simple, and I didn't think there was a lot of risk. And but in my heart, I knew that if I didn't do this, I think I was missing out on something. So I jumped in, and I had no idea about the details. So if you see something tonight, you really don't understand the detail, don't worry about it. Jump in, and you'll learn as you earn. I have a family. I'm married 34 years, and working for Penn State 14 years, I have just a little over a year where I can get retirement from Penn State. My oldest daughter is pregnant with my first grandchild, and she lives in Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh, North Carolina. Are we streaming here? North Carolina is just blooming with the business. I have a couple of associates down there, so my goal and my why here is to have an additional retirement income so that I can have that time and financial freedom with my family and my little grandson. I got a boy. I have 3 girls. Now I'm going to get a boy. Anyway, enough about me. Here it is. Simple. Simplicity. You can have duplication, and that's what we have here. So you enroll a few customers, and you teach others to do the same. So there's 4 ways to earn in the business. We have free essential services, just like Deb said. We have different services. We have electric, gas, mobile, and those protected services, and we have a way to get them for free. We have quick start income, which is basically a return on your initial investment. We have monthly earned income, which is the check you get every 15th of the month, that extra paycheck. And we have leadership income, which is the income you make when you help others get their checks, okay? So we'll start with the free essential services. What it is a program where you can get mobile. You can use any of these services, your mobile, your energy, your gas, for free. We call it the highway to freedom. What happens is if you refer people to stream services, you can get partial credits to you every month when they pay their bill. So if you get 5 additional customers for stream, they don't have to be in the business. They can just enroll for our service. You can get up to 25% of that average usage that they have in a check to you. It's a free check. If you like getting a 25%, you get 5 more referrals. You get up to 50% of average usage of all those bills given to you as a check every month. Not once, every month, right? And if you like that, go to 15. As long as you have 15 regular customers that pay their bill every month, you get 100% of that usage in a check. You can do that with energy, and also coming along, you can do that with mobile. So you get free electric and free mobile. Can't beat it. Now, what happens is once you start referring customers and you start gathering some business partners, what you're going to do is not only get paid on your efforts, but you're going to start getting paid on the efforts of others. And this is how it works. We call this the second way to get paid, which is called your quick start income, return on your investment. You're taking care of that, right?
Please, I may. Sorry.
So this is what you do. You gather 5 customer points. We call it a point system. 5 customer points. You come in, when you join the business, you're called a director. You have to get 5 customer points in order to be qualified to get paid going forward. And when you get your 5 points, you're going to get a $100 quick start bonus. But the company makes it pretty easy because we have something called the stream marketing system. And when you enroll for the stream marketing system, they give you 2 free customer points. So now you're down to 3 points. Now you can see that's mobile, that's electric, and that's protective services, right? So if you refer your family, your friends, you can switch your own electric bill, you can enroll for stream mobile and so forth. And really, like Deb said, people have multiple mobile phones in their homes. You know, even their little kids have phones. So it's pretty easy to get 3 energy customers to enroll for you. And when you do that, you're qualified to get paid, and you get a $100 check. But now, what we have is a program called U and 2. So you just got your 5 customer points, right? Now you're going to look for 2 people to join in with you so they can go forward and make some income as well. So when you help them qualify, and this is in their first 30 days, you get 30 days to get those 5 points, right? When you help them get their 5 points in their first 30 days, they'll get a check for $100 just like you did, but you'll get $100 for each one of them. You get their quick start income in their first 30 days. So now you have a total of $300. And what you did was you and 2. You got your 5 points, you found 2 business partners. And how did you do that? You showed them the plan. You invited them here. You showed them a video. You sent them a link to one of our business presentations. And that's basically what you do. I did. I have to admit, I went out and talked to everybody and talked, and I was telling them all about the business, and they ran away. They went into witness protection. But I'll tell you what, I learned quickly on that what I do is show the plan and shut up, you know. After they see the business plan, that's when I can talk and explain, because they would have questions, right? So now you have your quick start income of $300, and what happens is you just promoted yourself to the first leadership position, which is called regional director. So now here, you're regional director, and you get an extra bonus. When you do that in your first 30 days, you're U and 2, we call it the building block of the business, you get an extra $100 for a total of $400. And not only that, see that empty space? We're going to fill that in with a nice perk. And what that is a free custom stream tablet, which is a beautiful Android tablet with stream on the back, which is a tool that you have so you can work your business. And that's where you show the video, right on there. And it's loaded with all kinds of graphics and things like that that you can use. So this is our building block. Now, even if you don't do this in your first 30 days, you don't get that 100, but you always get that tablet. Once you do U and 2, it doesn't matter how long you get the tablet. Now, once you qualify as a regional director, you've set yourself up for that third way to make money, which is called the monthly earned income. And this is the check you get paid, not only on your efforts, but the efforts of others. And you'll see this illustration here. So now you started, you have your 5 customer points, and you get 2 associates, right? And now if you duplicate that, you start teaching your team to do U and 2. What you'll have is a nice associate team going down just about 5 levels. This is an example. And what you're going to do is teach them to get their 5 customer points, right? So you have a group of associates and you have a group of customers. And immediately you start getting paid as this starts to grow. You get 50 cents for your own customers, which is an example of why we don't go out and get a whole lot of customers, is that handful. That's really key. I don't think anybody would be in this business if we had to go door to door for 50 cents, right? So what you've done is you've started to create leverage and duplication here. Now, if you taught your team to do U and 2, and it duplicated 5 levels down, you see right over here, it's about $445 a month in a perfect plan, right? But that's only a minimum. You can do more. Some people in this list will do way more, and some will do less. But if you want to compound it and teach your team to do 4 and keep, going forward and never quit, right? You're going to start building a team that has compounded, right? That's a nice team. And if you look at the bottom there, that's $11,000 a month. If 4, get 4, get 4, get 4. This is not a perfect world, folks, and not everybody's going to do this. So, what if you were a 50% failure? It'd be nice to get a little over 5,000. What if you were 90% failure? I won't say failure, but what if you just had a team that didn't do this perfectly? Like I said, it's not a perfect world. You could be getting $1,000 a month. This is doable, folks, and this works. And it hasn't changed. In the 4.5 years I've been in, this has not changed. That residual fixed income has not changed. It works, believe me. And that thing is again. So now, you can understand how you're building a residual income. You go and get your handful of customers, and then you get paid on the efforts of others, right? But we have a weekly leadership income, which is a check that you get weekly as you bring people into your team and they get a check. No one gets paid in this business unless you help someone else get paid first. And the checks get sent out simultaneously. So once you're promoted to a regional director, you start getting $25 bonuses when someone comes into your team and they qualify in their first 30 days. Simple. You get $25 bonuses. We have these other leadership positions that you actually promote to, and we have anywhere from 25 to 100, 200, 250, up to $275 as you promote to these different leadership positions. The beauty is that this represents a person that came into the business and qualified with their 5 points, and you get a bonus after they get their first $100 bonus. It might look complicated, but it's not. And these bonuses go to unlimited depth. So you realize that you have extra teams, you have additional teams, but you haven't changed anything you do. All you do is show the plan, and it goes into your team, you help them qualify, and you get a leadership bonus. It's pretty simple. Folks, to get started in this business, it's $375. Small change compared to the potential here. I call that it's not a, what do I usually say? It's not a capital investment, but it opens the door to a capital return. You get a quick start kit, corporate support, great customer service, and all these people in training opportunities that are phenomenal. You know, they have like down in Westchester at these huge events that you can go if you want. But we say that those events are the way you build your business. There's a lot of training events that you really jump into if you want to learn more and earn more. Now, this is the marketing system that I mentioned. It's $24.95 a month. It's your website, your personalized website. It's got my name on it, and it's my, presence on the World Wide Web. It's where people join my business, and it's where people enroll for service. Really key. Chickens and eggs, right? You want to get paid on eggs? Go get some chickens, and that's what the website does for you. It's the two things we do. Teach people to earn money and teach people to save a little bit of money. We have a back office. It's called the Power Center. All your reports are there. Your checks are there. And what I like is that you can email your whole team. In fact, I emailed 1,100 people yesterday to tell them that Juli Bennett was coming here today with one click of my mouse. It was beautiful. So there's so much there with the marketing system. It's $24.95. We're supposed to tell you it's optional, but we say it's not. You can turn it on or off as you need. You're not stuck with it. And if you want to take a little break, shut your website off and then turn it right back on, and you never lose the business once you join. Folks, there's all kinds of good things. Free services, all expense paid vacations, or vacations that you can pay for and still go and have a great time. There's conventions. There's cruises. There's a cruise coming up.
That's right.
And this is the thing. When I first joined, they told me I could make $1,000 in 60 days. That hasn't changed. We can teach you how to make $1,000 in 60 days. We call it now the 60-day blitz. And not only do you get the tablet, but you get $250 credit to a smartphone. I tell you, the company just keeps giving and giving and giving. Correct?
Correct.
I hear it? Yes. All right, folks, what I'm going to do is tonight's a big night. We have Juli Bennett come up. I've seen her up on the big stage. She's an executive director. I want to be where she's at, so I'm never going to quit. I'll tell you. She's down from Melbourne, PA. She drove up in the rain to come and close us out tonight. And we have a lot of respect for her. She's a great speaker. Great speaker. She's a mom.
How's everyone doing tonight? Glad to hear that. I'm going to back up a few slides here, and then I'll go forward after that. Hopefully you guys don't mind. I like to start a little bit with my story, and one of the things I love best about this company is everybody starts the same way. We all have to start at the beginning.
What do you want to be all of you get there?
Can you help me get that?
Yeah.
Go back to the leadership slide if you would,
Sure.
our DMD asking. As Eileen said, my name is Juli Bennett, and I live in Melbourne, PA, which is about 50 miles south of here in Chester County. I looked at this business 4.5 years ago, much the same way that Eileen did. It was in November, right before Thanksgiving, and I've got 4 kids. So they are right now 17, 15, 14, and 12. We have them quite close together. So when somebody said, there's an opportunity to make some money, I started thinking college tuition. Not only that, but at the time I took a look at this in 2010, we were coming out of one of the worst economies ever. Matter of fact, it was still pretty bad. My husband works in corporate America, and although he's made great income that's allowed me to be a stay-at-home mom, I started to get worried, what if he lost his job? And not only what if he couldn't find a job, what if he took a job and he had to take a pay cut like we'd watched so many of our friends did. So we were looking for a plan B. Only I had a franchise background. I used to sell franchises back in my 20s. So I had gone to my husband and said, we need to buy a franchise. And we spent 8 months working with a franchise consultant. We were very well trained on how to evaluate and look for a business that we thought could be profitable. After 9 months, we had narrowed it down to the one we were going to buy. We were getting ready to go to Chicago to go meet with the owners of the franchise. They vet you out as much as you vet the franchise out. When my girlfriend, I was sitting at a ballpark. You want to know how this is done? Just talking to friends. My girlfriend, I was sitting at a ball game. Our boys play ball together, and she said, how's it going looking for a business? And I said, pretty good. I think we've narrowed it down. She goes, oh, great. She goes, I used to live in Dallas. And I said, yeah. And she goes, there was a company that launched back in 2004. She goes, and I didn't quite get it. My son's baseball coach at the time, who was 27 years old, kind of introduced me to it, but it wasn't the right time in my life. He called me the other day, and they're getting ready to expand up in Pennsylvania, and they were looking for some smart business people, and I thought of you. Would it be okay if I brought him over so he could share with you what he's doing, and maybe the second time around I might get it? And I said, sure, bring him on over. Now, how many people here have looked at a network marketing or direct sales company before? Been involved, looked at them, whatever. Yeah, pretty much everybody. At some point in your life, you're going to be approached, right? Amway, Salpata, Mary Kay, Health Wealth, whatever it might be that's out there, all great companies that have done millions and billions of dollars in business, but they've all been product-based, right? So you had to be on the product. You had to spend $200-300 a month to make $600 a month. And I've been there. I fell in love with the product. I thought all my friends and family would fall in love with it too. Next thing I knew, I had a whole closet full. I was giving it to them all for Christmas and holidays. Anyone relate to that one? Yeah, and after you have your first couple of parties, you're begging other people to have parties and stuff. So I was dead set against getting involved with another company. I spent a lot of years analyzing the direct sales company, saying it's a great concept, but how do people really succeed in it? And it decided I did not want to be a part of that industry, which is why we were looking at a franchise, until I saw this. And here's the number one reason why. How many of you pay a gas and electric bill? And now how many of you have an electric or a cell phone bill? That's it. That was it. That was the hook for me. He got to that point, and that screen where it only showed, and at the time I looked at it, it had 3 states, Texas, Georgia, and they were just launching Pennsylvania. So I knew from evaluating businesses, timing was everything, being at the right place at the right time. Would you all agree being at the right place at the right time is key to it? Do y'all think you're at the right place at the right time with a company that's already very well established, have done over over $7 billion in the last 10 years, but yet is not nationwide? We just launched nationwide. We were in a soft launch. Now, this month, we finally went into a hard launch for nationwide. That is being at the right place at the right time. Industry, a growth industry. How many of you, I was telling my kids the other day, I said, we were at a graduation party, and we were talking to the parents because our kids all have smartphones. Well, they're mini computers, so we were talking to the parents, how did you limit your kids' access to the computers? Did you have your codes? And they're like, our kids didn't have them. They were still using flip phones and text phones, and this was 4 years ago. That's how quickly the cell phone industry is evolving and what is taking place there. So another opportunity with being at the right place at the right time with the right industry. So once I established that, then I started to look at how could I make money doing that. When I got started, and I'm just going to go through a little bit of how my business took off the way it did, and then what time do you guys normally on? What time frame am I on? All right, I'm gonna tell a little bit of my story so that you can get a picture of how you build this business to the point that I've gotten to, and then we'll take a 5-minute break. I want to be respectful of anybody's time. Anybody that needs to leave, wants to leave, feel free. I know what it's like. I've got kids. Sometimes you got to get out of here. For those that want to stay, I'm going to go into a more in-depth training, especially on the invitation and overcoming objections, two of my favorite things to cover. When I got started as a regional director, people want to know, how do you get started? Right? First and foremost, you sign up, you become an associate. $375 compared to the $300,000 I was going to spend for a franchise was nothing. All right, so I looked at that and said, in the plan that Eileen showed, all I had to do was get my 5 points, get my customers. You'll start to see with the marketing plan, you make your money back very quickly. So I could put it on a credit card, go to work, and be able to earn that money back before my statement even came in. But here's what I did. In order to get my 3 points, I don't have any family that lives in there. So I called my best friend, Trish, who I golf with, and said, hey, Trish, I'd like for you to be my energy customer. And she said, what are you talking about? And I said, well, I got involved with an energy company, and I can save you some money on your bill. What are you doing? And I said, I'm going to make money off of everyone's electric bill. She goes, I want to see it. I couldn't explain it. I invited her to come to a meeting just like this. There were a couple hundred people in the meeting. She sat down. Next morning at 6 a.m., she called me and said, put a pot of coffee on. I'm bringing my husband over. I have a list of 300 people. I'm in. You got to explain this to my husband. So here's how this works. She got into my regional director code. She was on my first level. Okay? Trish was one of my 2. Right? After I made regional director, I was trying to get to managing director. She came in. Trish brought over 1,000 people into the business over the next year.
Wow.
Do the math. You don't think that $25 adds up to a lot of money, but it adds up every single month. I knew Trish. I didn't know all these other people, but I got paid on them to unlimited depth. That's how it takes off, even at the very beginning. Managing director. I promoted to managing director in 2 weeks. That's how easy it was. It doesn't take much to promote to managing director. Promoted to managing director. Talked to a friend of mine. He said, what are you doing? I told him. I knew him from the other network marketing company I had been in. And he said, I'm in. I go, we're not in your state. He goes, I don't care. He goes, I don't care if it takes me 2 years before you're in my state. If I can get the managing director, this money position, by the time they open my state, he goes, I'll make a boatload of money. And that's where he started. We didn't open New York until 2012, I believe, and he lived in New York. But he started building when we opened New Jersey, because he was right across the border. And I started a big team in Parsippany, New Jersey, because I knew Jody, who lived in New York. Jody knew Jan, who lived in New York. Jan knew Jersey. Jersey came in on my 3rd level. I didn't even know her. She was responsible for over 500 people joining in that team. It's not who you know. It's who they know, and who they know, and who they know. I only knew Trish. She knew all these people. I only knew Jody, but she knew Jan, who knew Jersey. And I got paid. And remind you, this is just leadership income. You get paid this every Friday. This is not the monthly energy income. All those people went out and got 10 customers. Do the math on that. Back up to that monthly energy income chart, you'll see. Now I'm a senior director. Senior director, they launched New York. And I'll never forget, anybody in that Ignite Academy where they launched New York a few years back, and Rob Snyder was here, and Rob Snyder says, I'm going to announce our next state and our next territory. And he said, Rochester, New York. And I was the only person stood up and started cheering. And I was way in the back. He goes, that's got to be Juli Bennett back there. Because I was born and raised in Rochester, New York. And my friends and family had been watching me for 2.5 years make money with Stream. And they wanted in. I went up there, my best friend, my dad. Let me tell you a story about this. People, you plan for a plan B when you don't need a plan B. Why? Because you don't know what curveballs life is going to throw at you. I started this because we were worried my husband might lose his job. My husband lost his job in 2013, and it took him 18 months to get a new job. Never worried once because we had built this in the meantime. My dad, I go up to Rochester, I look at my dad. My dad's 73 years old. Did everything right. Planned for retirement, worked at Kodak, got the pension, had the insurances, had everything. Even bought his second little place down in Dania Beach, Florida. So he'd spend the winters down there and the summers up here. And I go up there, and my dad's doing landscaping. I'm like, Dad, why are you doing landscaping work? Took away all my benefits. They took all my health insurance benefits away. Now, what do you do when you're on a fixed income and all of a sudden you have to come up with $400 or $500 extra a month in order to cover health care costs or life insurance costs? You start doing landscaping. You want to know why all those people are working in Walmart and Target and Starbucks and all these places you go to and they're senior citizens? It's not because they didn't plan. Now, some of them probably didn't plan well, but because life threw them a curveball. So I said to my dad, I said, Dad, get involved. I'll show you how to do this. You go get the customers. Go talk to all the cousins, all the aunts and uncles. And I got to tell you, it was like brutal training him. See, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. But we did. Eventually, I told him, I go, just take the chart and show it to him and say, do me a favor, become my customer. And they all did, right? My best friend, Lisa, struggled all her life. My dad went in underneath her. And today, they have a team of over 900 people underneath them. My dad and his wife are both associates, senior directors in the business, and collectively make over $1,200 in residual income. More than enough to cover their insurance. One day I showed up and he goes, did you see my monthly check out in the driveway? And I'm thinking to myself, oh God, what's he talking about now? Right? Because he just trained me on this every time I go up there. I traveled up to Rochester for 7 months every single week to help them build. There's nothing like helping family in this business because it's life-changing for them and for you at the same time. He went out and bought a new car with his monthly energy check. Fantastic. Right? Made him feel good. It was absolutely amazing. And now here I am as an executive director, thanks to building up in that team. And as an executive director, the first person I put in was my husband. Second person I put in were my kids underneath the trust. See, this is a company that allows us to have multiple positions, and it's willable, sellable, transferable, all for $379. So now everything I build goes underneath them, and we all get an income off of everything that's done. 4.5 years into this business, I have a phenomenal income. I've helped a lot of people, and it's really changed my life watching and helping them. It really has. It's been amazing, something I never expected in this business. On top of that, I get free gas and electric every single month. I have a free cell phone from Stream as an executive director. We not only have one, we have 3 tablets in our household because they're all RDs at this point. I've gone on a beautiful vacation in Aruba, all expenses paid. And the company just gave me a brand new Mercedes that I've been shopping for the last 3 or 4 days. And I still sit here today and go, I have no idea how I did it. I just talked to a lot of people. And all I would say to them is, do you ever look for other ways to make income? Or are you still paying a PICO bill? Down by me, it's PICO. I had lunch today or breakfast this morning with our financial advisor. He wants us to get long-term health care. He's trying to sell me something else. So he's passing me a package, and I said, hey, you still paying a PICO? And he goes, yeah. I go, you're overpaying for your electric. And he goes, why's that? And I said, well, just like you have industry leaders that tell you what's going on in the market, so do I in the energy industry. And here's what I'll tell you. We're at an all-time low, and what goes down must come back up. And here's what's going to force it back up. I said, whereas there's a supply and demand, and starting at the end of 2015, they're going to start offshoring most of our commodity. And that's going to cause prices to rise. He goes, here's my personal email. I said, I can send you a short video. Just send me the video. I'll make a copy of my check. Help me switch. That's it. Be my customer. I'm your customer. Be my customer. To date, and you guys might think that I've sponsored an army to get to where I am. And I haven't. To date, between my husband's position, my position, and my kids, we have 50 customers. Maybe about 54. I've added a lot last month. And altogether, I've helped 28 people personally get started in this business. But from 28, I've built an enormous team. Because it's all about helping other people become successful in this business. That's truly what it is. Help enough people get what they want out of life and help them change their lives, and you will naturally rise in this company and achieve the things that you want to get. Here's the biggest benefit from this that I really did not expect. I've got 4 teenagers. Anybody here have kids? Teenagers? You can fast forward this to the promotions if you want. I'll cover that before I finish here. Yeah, a lot. So you'll all know you can't tell them what to do because they won't do it. Right? How many of you try that? Take the garbage out? Did they take the garbage out? The one in our household is feed the dog. Feed the dog. You begged for the dog? Feed the dog, right? How could you not feed the dog? But they just don't do what you tell them to do. But they'll do what they see you do. And that was an aha moment for me because as I was promoting or wanted to promote to these higher positions, I had a big whiteboard. Matter of fact, my whiteboard is probably this big. And I hung it in between 2 windows in the office, kicked my husband out of the office, and at the top, I wrote when I wanted to achieve each position and the date. And when I was going for the senior director position, it was the fastest in Pennsylvania. Texans could not believe how quickly we were promoting up here because of what was happening in the market. And I put it on there, and my biggest thing is we had a national convention. They do a black tie event. And it was March 1st, and I wanted to go to that black tie event. How many women like to get dressed up, wear a gown, do the whole thing? Yeah, I don't get very many opportunities as a stay-at-home mom to do that. I was like, I want to go buy the dress and do the whole deal, but I need to get to senior director. So I was working to get to that point, and my son, who was 13 at the time, would come in every single day and go, "You any closer to making senior director, Mom? Any closer to making?" And I would chart it out, how many people I needed, who was promoted. You got to help 2 people promote to managing director. So that's what I was charting out and keeping track of. And he'd come in and he goes, "You're never going to make it." It was 5 days before the end, and he goes, "You're like 7 people behind." He goes, "You're never going to make it." I said, "I'm going to make it." I said, "I am definitely going to make it." The very last night, he comes up, he goes, "You're 3 people short, Mom, and it's 8 o'clock. He goes, "Go to bed." I go, "I'm not going to bed till I make it." He gets up the next morning, comes in at 6 a.m., shakes me, and goes, "Mom," he goes, "did you make senior director?" And I said, at 11:54 last night, Rob Snyder, our CEO at the time, called me to say, "Congratulations, we'd love to see you at the black tie event." And he jumped. No, don't clap for me. Clap for yourself when you get there, because it is about setting goals. I appreciate that, but really, it's about setting your own goals and getting to where you want to be. My son jumped up and down on the bed, was screaming, yelling, "Mom, da, 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 da." It's the first time he had seen anything like that. Up until that time, my kids thought of me as the chief bottle washer, right? Rag picker up, laundry, taxi driver. Anybody relate to that? And all of a sudden, he looked at me in a different way. And that was life-changing. But the best part as a mom was to watch over the next couple of months of how it changed his life. Because today, you can pick up his cell phone, and his screensaver is his goals. He's got a whiteboard. He asked us for a desk of his own and a whiteboard that he put up over his desk that he has colleges that he wants to attend, the GPA, his SAT he has to get, and he's got it all mapped out on how to get there. He's a junior this year, going into his senior year, and there's no doubt he's going to get there. He's seen disappointment, he's seen success, but he has seen it. I didn't have to tell him about it. And that by far has been the best thing about working with Stream. If I never made a dime, the lessons that have come out of this, the people that I've helped, have been worth every single moment that I have spent. So think about the people that are watching you in your life. Think about what curveballs could come in your life that you may want to be prepared for. Some of them you may not even know. My father-in-law, we were, thanks to Stream, we bought a house down in Naples, Florida. We spent Christmas down there this year because my father-in-law is not doing so well. My other father-in-law was diagnosed with lung cancer 2 weeks after we were there. In March, my husband got a phone call and said he went into hospice. He's going to pass in 24 hours. He's got 4 kids. My mother-in-law has 4 kids, and none of them could go down. They either could not afford it, or they could not afford to take time off of work to go to Florida to be with her during this difficult time. My husband called me and said, "Can you go, honey?" I was on a plane by 7:30 that night, at hospice by 11:30 down in Florida, and said to my mother-in-law, "I'll be here as long as you need me." 7 days. What curveballs are life going to give to you? And are you going to be prepared to A, have that time freedom to go, or the financial freedom to be there? That's what Stream is all about, is being prepared for the curveballs and being there to show the other people in your life how you can make a difference and help other people, whatever your passion might be. So we'll take a short break here, if that's okay. Oh, wait a minute. I got to cover these June promotions. I always forget about these. They're phenomenal. They're always giving us great promotions. I know all about these now. As I'm shopping for a car, they're doing the same thing, the promotion. What are they for? They just put more money in our pocket. My favorite one this month, and you guys can all read this, and this, anybody that promotes, which you should all be working towards promotion anyway, but they're going to pay you extra money if you promote this month. My favorite by far is our 2 for deal. That means for every electric customer, every 2 electric customers you sign up, they're going to pay you $100 after year 5. So here's what I'll tell you. Even if all you want is free energy every single month, and you go get 15 customers this month, have a free energy party, host it at your house, get one of the leaders to come, and after you get your 5 points, right, you go get this, that's $700 in your pocket. If you switch gas and electric, they're going to give you $150 on top of getting that free energy every single month. I love that program. I shift from talking about the business to talking about getting more customers. See, once you get 20 customers in the business, you don't ever need customers again. I don't gather customers until they do something great like this. And then all of a sudden I start talking to people about getting customers all over. We also deal with commercial accounts. So if you know a lot of people that have commercial accounts and you're comfortable with that, you can also do the 3-peat, which means for every 3, you get a $100 bonus. They're running some great specials along with that too. So I'm going to take about a 5-minute break for those of you that need to leave. Thank you very much for joining us. Help give it up for our other guest speakers. Sorry, you went before Jeff. How are you? And then we'll come back and I'll do a quick 20-minute training. I promise not to keep you here all night, but we'll do a quick 20-minute training. All right. Okay. Yeah.